Hi, welcome to this tutorial on Booklog's Physical Inventory Worksheet to count your inventory. In this video, we'll show you how to prepare for and perform a physical inventory in your store.
You don't need to purchase anything extra to use the Physical Inventory Worksheet. It is a built-in report, and like other Booklog reports, it is sortable by title, author, category, and department. The Physical Inventory Worksheet is an interactive report, which means you can enter information into it that changes existing information in your system. The Physical Inventory Worksheet will show you the existing quantities on hand Booklog has for each of your items. Then it will allow you to enter new counts that will replace those existing quantities. These counts replace existing quantities on hand so that your new counts correct the old ones. Before you begin your inventory count, here are some best practices to keep in mind. If possible, it is ideal to close the store while taking your inventory. Leaving the store open for sales will affect your quantities on hand, which you may need to reconcile manually. The Physical Inventory Worksheets are designed as printouts. You or your staff will mark the counts on the sheet for entry in Booklog later. Whenever you make mass changes to your inventory, you should always have a backed up copy of your database. If you make mistakes that are too burdensome to manually correct, you can always roll back to the previous version of your database and re-enter your counts.
Now to get started, back up that database. If you're not sure how to back up your database, contact your IT department or Booklog technical support. Again, it is very important to back up your database. If you plan to generate an inventory discrepancy report at the end of your inventory count, you will need to freeze the inventory. This creates a snapshot of your quantities on hand that will be used as a point of comparison. The discrepancy report will display the differences between your inventory count and the snapshot. If this is your fiscal year inventory, you should consider zeroing out your quantities on hand. This will give you a clean slate for adding inventory back into your database. If you don't zero out your quantities, then at the end of your inventory, you may end up seeing quantities for items that you don't actually have on hand. The best way to get a full, accurate count of your inventory is by zeroing out all quantities. But if you are taking a simple spot check, it is not really necessary. Once you have a valid backup of your database, you can move forward with your inventory process. In Booklog, the inventory process starts in the Utilities menu. Click Utilities and choose Physical Inventory. To perform a physical inventory, you will start at the top of this window and work your way to the bottom. Your first step will be to freeze your existing quantities on hand, so you can compare them with your count after the inventory is over. Freezing your quantities before starting your inventory allows you to generate an inventory discrepancy report after the inventory is over. It allows you to spot any items you missed during the inventory process, or items that had inaccurate quantities in Booklog, either because of shrinkage or because they weren't received. After freezing the inventory, you should zero it out. Zeroing out your quantities on hand can't be undone, and this is one of the reasons it is essential to have a working backup of your database before the inventory starts.
To generate the report, click on the PI Worksheet button in the Physical Inventory Utility window. Sort By will change the order in which your items appear on the report. You can sort by title, author, category plus title, department plus title, and other ways. You can also filter by category, department, or vendor, which can be useful in spot checks. If parameters are left blank on this window, then all inventory will be displayed on the report.
Once you've generated the report with the parameters you need, you'll want to print it out. By default, existing counts will be printed along with the report. You can click Hide Counts to remove them so the worksheet will provide a blank box for each title. When printing the worksheet, it is easier to keep track of your progress by hiding the counts, so that the only counts you see on the report are your own. Once you have hard copies of the worksheets with counts on them, you can enter those counts directly into the Physical Inventory Worksheet report. Just click a box you'd like to update and key in the count. Hit Tab to jump to the next line, and Shift Tab to jump to the previous line. After you've entered your counts, close the report. You will be prompted to Save Changes to Worksheet. Hit Yes to replace the quantities you entered. Your inventory quantities will be updated immediately. Once you have entered your inventory, it's time to check for discrepancies and finalize. The Inventory Discrepancy Report will compare your newly uploaded counts to the quantities you froze at the beginning of the inventory. This report can show you if you missed scanning or uploading any fixtures, or if any quantities were misentered during your count. Look for patterns or mistakes on this report and correct them accordingly in Booklog. Continue to run this report until you've reconciled discrepancies. Then you'll be ready to move on to the next report. The Inventory Detail Report will give you the current values of your inventory, including quantities, cost, and retail. You can run this report to get a detailed list of your entire inventory, or use the parameters screen to break it down by category, department, or vendor. This report is extremely flexible, and if you only need the numbers of your full inventory, you can run it by totals only. Congratulations, you're almost done. The last step is to clear the freeze on your inventory. This will remove all of your frozen quantities and clear your handheld device reports, so don't clear the freeze until you're completely finished.